Alrighty. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's see what comes through this morning. Oh my goodness. There we go. Major energy shift with all the planets going direct, guys. I don't know. I always feel better. I hate it when there's big overlappies. It should be cool. Oh, they would have a bunch of major ones for all at the same time for a while. We're still recovering from last year. Oh, I set all up, man. You ain't gotta be perfect, y'all. A lot of people get stuck on that too, the perfection, right? Oh, my pentacle's not perfect. My, whatever, your sigils aren't perfect, this, that, and the other thing. And it's funny because I was doing crafts with the kids, and that was something they kept getting on themselves about, right? They're just like, oh, this doesn't look right, this didn't come out perfect, this is messed up, oh no, this, you know, whatever. The glue got the pen mark wet, and now it's all messed up, and they get very worked up about it. And we all kind of do, right? We all, I don't know. It was something I read once about handmade stuff, right? And it was talking about artists never like their own work. People never like the stuff that they make themselves, things like that. And it's mainly because for some reason we want it to look like it was made by someone else, right? Meanwhile, someone else would say it's perfect. The whole beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Value is in the eye of the beholder as well, right? Like, I like to hand etch glass. Can you see her? Clouds. Right? So I like to hand etch glass. And that's something that I like to do, and I have tried selling and stuff like that, and I have sold some pieces and stuff like that online. But here's the thing. It's hard to compete with machines, right? It's hard to compete and try to sell somebody a cup that I handmade that took me way longer, that's personalized and things like that, than it is to just go to a kiosk at a mall, right? Get the all-seeing eye, intuition here, right? Psychic workings, spells, finding out the truth, finding out if someone's being dishonest, also used for protection against the evil eye. Look that up. It's usually in blue, right? Get the romance here. Valentine's Day's coming up, y'all. It's just bringing in this energy, right? This is the Rune of New Love, a symbol of sex magic and fertility, and it's also used to to heal broken hearts and relationships. I believe these are waves. Yep. This is the symbol of purity, forgiveness, washing away bad, negative feelings, energies, a strong symbol for healing, especially used in like addiction or depression. I would say, you know, that's the importance of baths and showers. Like That's why I always tell people, like, it's okay to break down, and it's okay to ugly cry and things like that. And just, you know, I've always found to take a shower, wash your face, you always feel better. Water is just naturally healing, you know, you're made of it, you're part of it. Gemini, the twins again. I think that dice is rigged. Saturn, structure, control, completing cycles, starting new cycles. Speaking of imperfections, the same thing goes for you, right? What was it? A post the other day that was going around talking about, ladies, you need to take care of your legs, because scars and stuff like that aren't cute. And it's like, dude, oh my God, for real? What? I'm sorry. Yeah, my knees are scarred. Why? Because I played outside as a child and I climbed trees and fell off my bike, right? People get funny. They wonder why. They're like, I get it all the time. It's the, I love your face. It's such a weird fucking compliment to me. Y'all don't understand, because for as an Aries, and now this is typical. This is even in one of the sun sign books that my mom had when I was younger. Talked about this too. Aries children are naturally prone to fuck up their face, right? Because they run head first into everything, right? It's a whole headbutting thing, right? Anyway, so for a substantial part of my childhood, my face was covered either in stitches or gnarly scars, right? I had the scar here, busted my head open on a coffee table, busted my head open on, or my face open, this was on a bottom bunk. I fell through and put my tooth through my lip here. I got tore up by a dog. He ripped open here. Here I had to have this reconstructed because it caved in. Craziness. So, just for a substantial part of my childhood, and there's not a lot of pictures of me, right? There's this huge jump of pictures. Even before, we had a huge box of pictures, but they got destroyed in one of the houses that we stayed at. The fireplace leaked and ruined the picture box. Anyway, there was always a lot of avoidance of trying to, I guess, take pictures of that, because I've asked for them. I'm like, they have to exist, right? The way my grandfather took pictures, there has to exist the pictures of what happened to me. I'd like to see them at this point. I think I can handle it now. I've done it to take my own kids in for stitches, so. We've got Colorless Angel here. And we got Ancestors and Generations. Very hollow shell person. It is the 10 though, right? Ancestors and generations. I said we carry a lot of generational karma, for sure. Here's the thing. A lot of people get stuck on the DNA part of the karma, right? And it was something even Naya said. From Naya's universe. She passed away, rest her soul. Hope she's having a good time on the other side. She's probably on another planet, incarnated into something really cool. Anyway, what the hell did she say now? Sorry, I just got a flash of a weird image in my mind. Oh, ancestral DNA karma. Something that she complained about was she felt like she had her soul contract got messed up, right? Because there is, for a lot of us, there's this whole spiritual dynamic. And I mean, it goes beyond Earth. It's the universe in flux, in flow, right? If you want to believe in 5D beings and things like that, then they can tinker and tamper with stuff. I mean, that's really the whole story of most of the gods in the pantheon, right? Most of the gods, what? They went around messing around with people. Zeus would pretend to be soldiers and sleep with their wives when they weren't home. Poseidon turned into a cuttlefish and whatever. Aphrodite was a pain in the ass in her own way. Everybody was a pain in the ass in their own way, and they all tampered with shit, and they all bickered among themselves, and they all caused general chaos, right? So for her, she felt like she should have been born closer to Edinburgh with this certain group of witches or people. I'm not sure if she said they were witches or not. But she felt like she was supposed to have been there, but for some reason got bumped and ended up born here. But sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes if you get too stuck in the DNA karma and the generational karma of a certain specific line, there's only one way to bump you out, right? Especially if you do things like the twin flame journeys and things like that, right? The soulmate journeys, when you're trying to do that. You can't, if you follow your DNA line, what are you going to do? You're going to be siblings all the time, right? So you're never going to be able to come into the full union of it like that. So things have to get bumped around. I found it really funny that in one of the past life memories I have a younger brother. One of the oldest past life memories I have a younger brother. And many times in all the past life readings I'd done before that, anytime there was a brother, he either died as a child or he took my mother out with him. And in this life, my mom wanted a boy. Really, really bad. She really, really wanted a little boy. And I think I've said this before. I was supposed to have been born a boy, right? Because of the heartbeat and the terrible 80s ultrasound machines. And I wasn't. Surprise. I was born. I had strawberry blonde hair when I was born. But a few years after that, my mom got one of those first So Alive dolls or something like that, or Baby Alive dolls, the realistic looking, anatomically correct baby dolls. And it was a boy, and she named him Brandon. So sometimes you're not born, or you feel uncomfortable where you are because you're not supposed to stay there. I don't know why. I haven't seen this movie in forever. I don't remember a lot of it. I know it's Tom Hanks, and I think it's called Made in Heaven, and I've been getting random flashes of it. And it goes over kind of the stuff like that with reincarnation, how you're put into weird positions, things like that, right? How one thing stuck. It was in heaven, he liked to garden and he had a shovel, and they try to tell him, they're like, you know, on earth it won't necessarily be a shovel, but it will be something you'll have to work hard at and do with your hands. But then when he was incarnated, he became a musician of some kind, right? Some of this on here too. You know, I'm telling you, if you do it right, coconut oil works good. You just got to make sure you wash it all out so you don't look all greasy. My bad, vanity moment. Aries, can't help it. Alright, so what is it appearing like on the 3D? And you know what's important about the, like, you know, why read the 3D line if it's not even true half the time? Well, because what people are perceiving or what they're throwing into the co-creation of it, right? I've said that before too, you know what I'm saying? Some of the reasons that people can perform amazing acts is because people believe they can perform amazing acts. Projections of failures, things like that. I mean, you're co-creating with a lot of people. What? For some people, they need you to fail to feel successful, right? And if you feed into that, it's co-creation, right? All right, so anyway, that's my disclaimer for the 3D. Because on the 3D, we got somebody here, they're really diving into their emotions to try to find what they're passionate about, right? It's been a lot of anxiety, a lot of burdens, a lot of feeling of entrapment. There's definitely a lot of toxic, wounded child here, right? There's a decision or a truce that needs to be made. There's a decision or truth that needs to be made. And I believe the decision needs to be made in order to cut cords to get you off of a certain frequency, a negative frequency, right? Because whereas the 9 is usually about, this is about, I like this card upright. It ties into that generational survivor card, but reversed, it's taking it to a toxic place, right? It's taking it to a toxic place. Yeah, I'm picking up the energy. Someone who had a rough childhood. Something may have happened to them in their childhood that they still haven't fully processed yet. And I get the there's a point, like any good idea can be radicalized. Like feminism. There's nothing wrong with wanting equal rights, equal pay, and all that other stuff. As long as you're performing the same amount of duties and you're getting everything done in the same manner, yes, you should be getting paid enough. I think you should know what your coworkers are making. I think all your coworkers, you know what I'm saying? As long as there's not a system in place where people are getting bonuses for doing better, then yeah, you should all be making the same. But when you take it to the point where you hate men altogether, right? You just hate and loathe men altogether. You can't stand it. Now, I've gotten stuck on this energy before, that toxic sexual energy, right? You can't help it, especially when you're an empath and you can feel those energies. And if it's coming from a lot of different directions, you feel skeevy sometimes, especially with some dudes they give off skeevy ass energy, right? I feel like this person, like I said, and I've been there too, is not only stuck on what happened to them in their past, dealing with that, but also stuck in their past with dealing with, and this doesn't necessarily have to be the feminist, it could be a masculine thing, why a man hates a woman or why a woman hates men. They're looking historically back on it, right? They're going back into the timelines. They're in the Akashic records looking for every time they were fucked over. I'm telling you all, it's not easy when you bump into somebody who's killed you in a past life. And you'd be surprised, right? That's the other thing too. It's like people get so tied up into these connections and it's like you don't even know why you remember that person. And unless you do, you might want to be a little careful, be a little wary. You don't know what the deal is. Not everything is always romantic love too, right? There's all kinds of connections that you could have had that's attracting you to a person. All right, so that's the 3D line. On the 4D line, what's really going on in this person's mind? What's going on with these telepathic connections? I feel this person is genuinely looking to balance their heart out. I feel like there's definitely been a recognition of that 3D line for them. They're aware that they've put off this energy, right? because I got the Justice card here, and I love it in this one. This is the heart and the feather on the scale, right? And it's all about the true justice will come when you pass over is how heavy is your heart. As long as your heart is light as a feather, which you have to feel what you have to find your own ways to unburden your heart. I do see that there is victory for this person, whether it's you or whether it's someone you're seeking advice for, right? I see that they are reaching victory in this. I do feel like they are not casting proper judgments, though. Right? I feel like they're not casting proper judgments, or they're not. As for me, that's what the Judgment card is, right? Right. The technical definition is absolution, but for me, it's, well, and I guess that's what it is too. How do you unburden your karma? You have to pay it. You have to pay it. What? You have to go and repay the good karma you've received from other people. You need to go and reconnect with those connections. And for the toxic connections, you need to cut them off. And that's the only way to do it. What? Oh, well, it's hard to cut off the toxic connection. Why? The toxic connection comes with benefits the other connections don't come with, right? Toxic connection, what? Is usually the more attractive person, the person with the money, the person with this, the person with that, but they're toxic as fuck, and you know it, right? So there's definitely burdens. Right? This is an overburdening here. You don't want to accept defeat, right? It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. I have no other way of saying that. It's going to be a little rough. There is this whole thing message here at the end, right? Accept defeat. I know that sounds terrible, but that's what the card Five of Swords in this deck says, defeat at the top, right? Accept defeat, right? See, this guy's very, right? And the symbolisms are right there. What? This guy's laying on the ground. He has surrendered, right? He's got 3 swords stabbed around him like the Three of Swords card, right? He's accepting defeat. What? She's holding 2 swords like the Two of Swords card, making a decision, right? And it's your decision. Win or lose in every battle, it's your decision to decide when the battle's over, right? It goes along with that whole, the game ends the minute you stop playing, right? The minute you stop playing the game, boom, 5D, your towers are going to happen. And towers are not always a bad thing. Towers get you out of your comfort zone. They force you out of your comfort zone. When you have finally hit the proper frequency, the universe goes, well, you can't maintain these toxic connections and these toxic mindsets. So the only thing we can do for you to help you finish getting out of that mindset is to remove things that are keeping you in that mindset. People, places, things, pretty much your whole world, right? I love there's one witch's deck here. I need to figure out which one it is. But the witch herself has knocked down the tower, right? Sometimes you kick your own tower over. That's more for fire signs, and especially like Aries and Leo. They'll be the ones that just be like, as soon as they, like I said, I always use Monopoly board, like flipping the table over. If the tables won't turn, flip them the fuck over, right? But either way, if you maintain your frequency and you have genuinely trying to purify your intentions and purify and cleanse yourself, and you really want to lighten your heart, right? You got to allow the towers to happen. You can't postpone them anymore. You have to let the tower happen. Right. Now, once the tower has happened, get the Four of Wands here. The Four of Wands is all about celebrations, right? Harmony, home, marriage, right? Family. It's a coming together, right? It's a building of the foundations of these things, right? I love this deck. Instead of having the family in it, it has like that circus tent in the background. and the two women dancing outside of it. I don't know why Hey There Tambourine Man just popped into my head, right? Now, the only thing that can keep you bound at this point, right? If you let this happen, this can happen. The only thing that can stop this is you. Is you just straight up denying signs, denying synchronicities, denying what people are flat out telling you, just holding yourself into some illusion because you're refusing to let go of it. This is what this card's about. She's looking in a mirror, and she's looking in this mirror, which means she's looking upon herself, and she sees herself all tied up and everything else like that, and the universe is like, would you please just stop? Just stop. Stop being afraid of the crows and let them get those strings off of you, okay? Because you have bound yourself up in a lot of shit. You have. But this is how you pay your karmic debts, right? You're going to listen to your signs and your synchronicities and actually allow them to lead you in the proper direction. And I always say, when you're picking up signs and synchronicities, it's not about, oh, I got a white feather in my path today, which means so-and-so is thinking about me. At 11:11, I found a white feather in my path. That means so-and-so is thinking about me today at 11. No. You have to figure out how to catch yourself before you jump thought and really think about what it was you were thinking about before you walked up on their synchronicities and your signs. Before you walked up on your synchronicities and your signs, right? A good way that we developed that skill between me and Luna was the 143, right? We recognize that number as our personal. We have new numbers now, of course, because that's become a whole tribe thing. But, it just means someone's thinking about you and someone loves you, right? For me and her, it would be crazy because it was like you'd get a text from that person saying something for the day, and then you'd look up 143, or a variation of it. Now, you are moving towards getting this clarity, right? So there's the difference. Here's the difference. What? This is the true soul's reflection of self. This is your 3D perception of yourself, right? You're all bound up in your past. You're all bound up in past lives. You're all bound up in all kinds of thought patterns that you're tearing yourself apart with. And you need to just stop, take a step back, and take a breath, okay? You can get back to here. Justice has popped up again for you, right? You can get back to here. How are you going to get back to that? Besides following your signs and synchronicities properly, you're going to embrace your Queen of Pentacles, right? You're going to embrace the Queen of Pentacles, right? The Queen of Pentacles handles her business, right? She handles it in a loving and nurturing yet firm way, right? Just like Mother Nature, she's not always cool and calm. Sometimes she's got to be the storm to, shake things up and get shit done, but she gets it done, right? She just gets it done, right? And she does it in a nurturing manner. Like, even if you have to cause a storm, you don't mind helping with the chaos of cleaning it up, right? That's Mother Earth energy right there, right? It's what seeds are you planning on watering, right? Where your focus is going is where you're going to manifest the most. So if you genuinely want and I've said this, if you want to be the person who gets up and does yoga every day, you just got to get up and do yoga every day. Start at any point, at any given point. And I will say, with the Queen of Pentacles, it's the constant repetition. And As an Aries, I know I hate repetition. I hate it when it's the same thing over and over and over again. It's like I like to do the video challenges. That way the routines are different every day. It's not the same thing every day, right? It takes, what did they say? 21 days to a full month, 3 to 4 weeks to establish a solid new pattern. 3 to 4 weeks to establish a solid new pattern, right? It only takes 2 weeks to break it. That's why you take a 2-week vacation and go back to work. It's so hard to go back to work. Why? Because you just totally went off schedule for 2 weeks. So now your brain has to readjust to going back onto the old routine. It gets a little easier when it's something that you do all the time. But when you're trying to really, really genuinely create a new positive mindset, new positive ways of moving through life, that's just what you have to do. And if you get stuck and you find yourself in these types of situations, right, where you're feeling trapped in a situation where the universe is clearly telling you to move forward, it's whenever you find yourself stuck in the excuses, right? That's the big one, excuses. I can't leave this person for this reason or that reason. I can't, whatever. There's excuses and there's solutions, right? And you're going to find whichever one you're searching for. So if you find yourself getting stuck into this, and here we go. And now this definitely could have been something you learned from a parental figure, right? With this generational thing. It could be grandparents, it could be parents. I found that a lot of the toxic traits within my family do stem from a matriarchal couple. But it's up to you when you notice yourself falling into this to figure out how to get yourself out of it, right? For me, when I feel myself going into a negative mindset, or what I did for a while was if I had a toxic thought, I would just envision like an Etch-a-Sketch and just go and just shake it out, right? Everybody's a shake it off, whatever. Everybody's got their own little thing that you could figure out, but something that resets your mind back into it. I like that because I thought it was funny. It would make me giggle, and it would immediately, a smile would cleanse out any negative mindset, right? I want something else. I want a story to go with this one. I'll do a story, and I'll do one of Sarah's Oracle cards. The Crossroads. 22. Huh. It's one of my numbers. My life path numbers are 11-2, but one of my birth numbers is 22. All right. Ha! Ha! Queen of Diamonds. So we have the Queen of Pentacles. The path, decisions, directions, and choices. The path taken remains a quintessential motif in the world of fairy tales. Many hero or heroine is made at this critical point. The road you will take will influence everything else that happens. Where the crossroad appears in your spread, you have choices to make. Which direction will be the best one for you? There are many hidden faces here. These are your subconscious thoughts helping you make the most of this card. Do you take the left path or the right path? You must weigh all the possibilities to make the right decision. This card won't give you all the answers, but the nearby ones might help clarify the situation. Pay attention to all the options available to you. The closer to the card that represents you, the more time sensitive this decision is. Sometimes the worst things we can do is not make a decision at all. I always say that. Non-decision's a decision. Oh, that's it. That's it. Indecision is a decision. Oh. Listen to your signs and synchronicities. Definitely, definitely. All right. Let's get a little magic for today. Dreams, pay attention to your dreams. Oh my God. I don't know if it was a dream. I don't remember having this conversation with anybody. Wasn't on anything, so I should remember it. Could have been in a dream. I had the weirdest dream, and it was about how... I've been thinking about zodiacs. I looked up what the most amount of zodiac signs are. It's actually Leos. There are more Leos in the world than anything else. Why? Because it's the natural cycle of the human body, right? The only species, look at you being stuck in there, being all cute, hidden in the bottom. Oh, that was hidden in the bottom of the box. It got stuck, y'all. The only species on the planet that don't have a natural rhythm to give birth at the optimal times of the year, right? Like, even cats will do it, and most animals, if they do it twice a year, they'll get knocked up so they give birth in spring, or they'll get knocked up so they give birth in summer. And it's set like that on purpose for food-wise, right? And the weather and everything else like that. The only animals that don't, the only animals that cycle monthly, or even more, anyway, more than twice a year, are ones that have been genetically tampered with. Dogs, cats. Just a thought. Just a thought. We got the Trinity of 5 here, manifesting money and income. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Okay, so you know what I'm going to tell you right now? And I've been saying this for years, and people don't want to listen to me. They think I'm always bashing money when I say it. You got the Trinity of 5, manifesting money and income. You got the love charm, attract a lover, a soulmate, or a life partner, right? We got listening to your dreams and intuition here, right? You know why? These go hand in hand. Lust and greed are one frequency. Love and abundance are another frequency. They go hand in hand, right? Attract one, you attract the other. Greed comes from lust. If you just want money to get pussy, that's greed for lust, right? If you're just sleeping with dudes because they have money, that's lust for greed, right? But love and abundance, they usually come in separately, but at the same time. Just saying. All right, leave you with that. Love y'all. Blessed be all those who walk these weird and winding paths with me. Remember, we got the intuition rune this morning, right? Paying attention. We got the waves, cleansing and purifying, and we got the open to romance. All right, I'll be back with some more this week, y'all. I want to do a Valentine's Day video for the other channel. Love you. Blessed be all those who walk these weird and winding paths with me. I love you guys. I'm going to be back just as soon as I can. I promise. I promise.